This tutorial was really fun to do, and I love all the little roses we had to do. Just trying to make it easy, but this beautiful reference book really helped a lot. So as you're getting your supplies ready, you want to spray down your palette so that you can reactivate your watercolor paints. And the brushes I'm using today, I always use these brushes, number 6 and number 12. So we're starting with the number 6 today. I'm just going to grab a nice amount of bright orange paint. If you want to change it up, you can use whatever color you want. And we're just going to start doing really simple roses. So little just curved shapes kind of going around the middle. We're leaving a little white space. If you need to pause the video, it's okay. It's just you kind of press a little bit more as you get a little bit farther out from the center so that the petal gets a bit wider each time you go around. If you work fast, you're not going to belabor it too much. You're not going to overthink as much. It's just these tiny little curvy shapes going around. Take some water, can spread out the petals just to get that little kind of wonky look. You want it to be kind of lumpy. You don't want it to be perfect and completely circular, because if you look at roses in real life, they're kind of wonky. They're not perfect in any way. I'm going to grab some yellow. We're going to repeat that process. Now, roses, I tend to stay away from them because they are tricky. They're really hard to teach. But today, for the purpose of just having fun, we're going to pop in a little orange in the middle just for some shadow. But for our practice today, because our reference has roses, we're just going to make these little C-curve shapes. We're going to go around and just start to add layer after layer. The temptation is to work slowly and try to get every little curve shape perfect. But see how I'm moving the brush? I'm even just moving it back and forth a little. So it's just a little bit wobbly. This is a great practice to do just on a sheet of paper, just being mindful and not worrying about perfect shapes, but just going for it and being brave. So now we're going to do a kind of a side-facing rose, so just a little swipes real quick to create some little petally shapes. You can pop in some orange too. What I love about using a reference is that you don't have to make it up in your head. It's too hard to paint sometimes anyway. So just get a yummy reference, something that really makes you excited, and sit down and just try to paint it out. And if you don't like it, try it again. And just really be easy on yourself. Let's go around again, a little center. You can even do a circle. And then you're just doing these little curve shapes around just to try to layer. Think about a rose. There's so many layers, and the white space in the middle helps you to see between the one petal and another. Otherwise, it just ends up looking like a big circle. And we need to see those petal layers. So let's do another one here. My circle got a little bit too big, and I think this is the last rose. But just going around and putting in those little shapes. I've got some orange, I've got some yellow, I've got a color that's in between, just a mixture of those two. So now let's do some blue. So in this reference photo, there's some beautiful blue delphinium, I would say. And we're just gonna make some little brush strokes going upwards. Of course, I'm going to do one down here too, trying to get some contrast of the different colors in different spaces. And so just really quickly, just do blobs. Focus on blobs, friends. And we're going to do a few more just going upwards before we get that stem. But this is 2026. This is a new year. And think about pressing yourself a little. If you're wanting to learn watercolor, you're in the right place. If you're wanting to improve your watercolor, you're in the right place. I offer all kinds of tips and tricks, tutorials. I've got YouTube. I'm on social media. But friends, I also want to turn your attention to my Patreon. That's where you can get exclusive content. And there's several different levels, including my mindfulness mail. If you want to practice being present, being in the moment, learning how to do that, I have several, either a package or an envelope or another bigger package that you can get either one time or every month. Sign up for a year and you save a bunch of money, like 20%. But it's just to help you receive a letter, receive some mindfulness, either objects or some art prints, art from me, to help you to be present, mailed to you, to your address. We don't get snail mail anymore. So if you're interested in that, the link below, Patreon, is there. And you can even join as a free member and just get updates as well. But reminding you of that. And also, I have my Scotland art retreat. And if you're wanting to do an art retreat, then take a look at it. Click the link below if you're considering going on a retreat with me. It'll be so fun. So right now I'm doing the outline of this vase. I'm just going to fill it in with a little bit of dirty water here. Now, doing a vase like this is a little challenging. I like to usually sketch it out because I'm more precise. Today I didn't sketch it out, and that's okay. It's just kind of loosey-goosey, but sometimes a pencil really helps with that. With the flowers though, friends, I just put in the marks. I don't want to mess around with it being too intense. So now, wet on wet, I'm just taking a little bit of brown and popping in that color just to define those edges. We're going to do that several times and just let it sit, let it dry. And, you know, just play around with the watercolor. The thing is, this is not something that is going to ruin your life if you don't like your painting. But your mindset can ruin your experience if it's yucky. So remind yourself you're practicing and you're learning. Let's do a few more of those kind of tannish colored flowers. Wherever you want to put them. This is your painting. And if it's too fast, you can always slow it down. You can always put it at halftime or even pause it to catch up. So we're going to put in a few more here and just think about what are 2 or 3 things that you love about your painting right now. Those are the things you're going to repeat with your next painting. If there's anything you don't like, friends, you're going to decide I'm not going to repeat that next time, and that's it. Don't make yourself feel bad. Let's put in a few little blobs of yellow. We're making a blobby vase of florals for the new year, feeling confident, feeling excited about starting something new maybe, or continuing something new, or continuing something you've done for a long time. The whole point is that you can find a space where you are enjoying making something with your own hands. So if you feel nervous at all right now, take a breath. And now with your green, you're going to start adding in your green stems. I like to try to curve them just to give them a little more interest. Of course, we put in a few flowers here, and we're just trying to connect them together so they make sense in our bouquet. So you've got those blue ones, for example, the Delphinium, and you can connect everybody with a little bit of a diagonal stem to the main stem. You know, a little bit of some leaves too, if you would like. And I really encourage you to take ownership of this painting. So you can copy me and that's fine. And you can learn a certain amount. But imagine how much you learn when you actually take ownership and decide, I'm going to put this color in instead. I'm going to change up this shape. When you change it into your own, it's not only giving you confidence that you're making these decisions, but you're also coming up with a unique piece for you to claim as your own, which is amazing, especially for those who want to start selling their paintings and you can't copy another artist. You just have to make up your own design. And so this is a great way to start getting your brain used to doing that. But the confidence that you build up is incredibly valuable. All right, so let's take more of that brown. It's still a little damp, but we're just going to put in, you can see it's a bit drier than before, put in some darker again, just to layer that up, just to get a little bit of shadow under there, create some definition, and a little bit on the top too. Just play around. This is not a perfection bouquet. I like to say we're not going to put this in an art museum or sell it necessarily somewhere. Grab a little runny orange and tap your brush around and just make a little splatter for some pizzazz and some fun. I love having fun with this here. A little more definition if you'd like. And then let's do a little bit of that darker brown. I've let it dry a little bit more. And I think I got a little obsessed with this, just continuing to put on layer after layer. But I really like that texture effect, just putting in, tapping in some color and seeing what happens. All right, now it's time. The first layer is dry. We're going to add in some more concentrated, beautiful color here. And that's going to give us that beautiful shadow that we want so much with our flowers. Just swiping, that is still wet. It's going to be more of a mellow, contrast, because if you have some dampness or wetness, putting in that dark color is going to just allow it to spread and have some really nice, beautiful blends with some soft lines, versus if you put a layer over a dry layer, you have more of those stark, harsh, more saturated lines. All right, so adding some shadows quickly with my yellow roses too, grabbing some orange, and see how I'm quickly just pressing the brush down. For this one, I'm slightly curving those shapes just to give some outlining. Look at how cute that is with the texture. So that's all we're doing. Really quick second layer. And this is not something you have to overthink. Look at me, I'm not thinking about it at all. Just blobbing that paint down. But I want you really to think about how you are feeling with this art. Is anything coming up for you? New year, it's a lot to deal with, putting aside 2025, opening up 2026. I know there's a lot of possibility and exciting opportunities, but you may be feeling frustrated or worried or sad or scared. Maybe you've lost someone or something important to you, and now you're approaching this new year feeling alone. Remind yourself that you're not alone. You have this community to reach out to. If there's someone that is on your heart and you've been just kind of not sure about where to reach out, go ahead and do it. What's the worst that could happen? Friends, I thank you so much for being here. I want to encourage you guys in your journey. Again, remind you of the link for Patreon if you want to join the community over there for fresh content every month and for exciting art mail to help you be mindful and present in this new year. Embrace what you have and put away the things that you don't want. Happy painting, friends, and happy mental health to you.